Hello, happy Tuesday. I don't know what we call this. Normally I would have said workshop Wednesday, but it's not Wednesday. So I am going, since it's so fresh, the new year's so fresh, and people talk about new year, new you, or kind of your reset or your restart or a blank canvas, or I say an etch-a-sketch that you just shook and is blank. You get to create the energy of whatever you want from 2020. My last live last week talked about how to not bring in the energy of 2019 if you don't want it in 2020. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about that recap or reflection, I guess, of 2019, because from the people that I work with, most of the time we just want a clean slate, and we're not conscious of it. We're not going back through, asking ourselves questions, evaluating, hey, what worked, what didn't work. I talked a little bit about that. Sorry, my head itches, in that last video, but we have to go back there to see what was great and what wasn't, what we would do again, what we will never do again. And so just a few additional questions to ask yourself. And then I'm going to talk about, from a mom's perspective, basically what I see with a lot of mamas who have purpose and passions and things they want to achieve or what they want to be, and some of the things that I find holds them back. So number one, looking at a recap of 2019, what was your word for that year? Now, some people come up with a word for the work year they're creating, but what if you could recap? You know, it doesn't always work like that. If you could recap what your word was, good, bad, or otherwise, like, whoo, my word was going in 2019 was joy, and I ended with I don't know, whatever your word and opposite of joy. I don't know if it's whatever it is. Okay. How do you look through those 12 months energetically? What happened, what you learned, and what you will do again? Second question, the impact that you made and that someone made on you is extremely important. It shows maybe you've been in a job that you weren't doing your best work, or like it wasn't really in your gift, and you tweaked the job description, or you took a promotion, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, this is completely my superpower. Just like little things like that is important to be able to reflect on. And the third one is what you vow to never do again. And I think this question is so much deeper than what the words say, because we habitually do what we've always done because of lack of awareness. And when we start to create a little bit more awareness as to how did 2019 make us feel, what did we accomplish, who did we meet that was awesome, who do we really not want to hang out with, like all these things to really recap what that year is. Now we can go into 2020 being in a little bit more of a creative state, an energetic state, a visionary state, as to this is who I want to show up as, who I want to be. Now, going into 2020, I know these few weeks are always super exciting. We get our planners out and we start to put things in, and we start to highlight, and pretty soon, third week of January, it's like, I don't know what I was supposed to do. So I believe in breaking it down into 90-day chunks, and it's bite size. Okay, that helps us have a daily input that we can achieve and a weekly recap of how did it go? Do I need to tweak anything? Now, the whole point of this live is not 2020 planning. It is what holds us back from going after what we want. And that's what I really want to talk about, because man, it just hit me a few months ago. In chiropractic, in the work that I do in mentoring, and just colleagues, right? And in my practice and personal life, I work with a ton of women, and a lot of them work or have, if they're at home, they have a passion, they have side gigs, and not all people have kids, but many do. One of the things they say is, when my kids get through this next stage, I'm going to do this. Or, things are just really busy now. I just don't know if I have the capacity to do that. Although true, it is important to look at your 2020. My last video said the same thing, and see what stage of life are you in? Is your partner going to be working out of town for half the year, and that's different for you? So you're going to be a solo mom. You need more help. You need nannies. Your work, you're not going to be all in and work all the time. Like, those are really, really, really important things to know before you come in. So if you know what your calendar looks like, I say calendar based on life. So we have a family coming from overseas 1 month, and we're going to be gone another month, and my kid graduates another month or starts school. Like, all of those are a transition, and they're not, the physical transition isn't what I'm talking about. It's the emotional transition and how that affects the dynamics of a family. Now, going to the nth degree makes that an excuse. And that's the key. What is real and what isn't real? When you create your dreams and your goals, and you want to do this, or you want to be this, or you want to learn this, and all of a sudden you go into the avoidance energy, or I might inconvenience my spouse energy, or, well, I really should be at my kids' PTA meeting then energy, that is a sign that you're making that your the reason why you're not creating the goal, making that your excuse. And I don't mean excuse as in it's a conscious, but anything that any reason that we give that we didn't achieve something is either valid or not. You get to determine that. And so many people will ask the question, well, how do you know? Like, I could put all this on paper, but how do you really know that I'm not BSing myself, or that it's actually valid? Or I think, I mean, it's an awareness thing. It's about you feeling what you feel. And the more you can get in tune with how you feel, the more you'll know when it's, whoa, this is too much. This is not the right time to launch a product. This is not the right time to write a book. But what I can do so that I progress there is just scale it back, or decrease the time by 6 months and spread it out a little bit, or hire somebody to help you do X, Y, Z, whether it's for that project or for your kids. There are so many opportunities out there when you put yourself out there that you want to do something different, be something different, achieve something. You want a promotion, you want to learn how to snow ski, whatever the things are. If we don't plan them, they won't work, right? And so there's always going to be an excuse, always going to be an excuse. And if we have kids, there's a billion of them, right? My kids have been up all night for 2 years. Yeah. My kid's teething. Yeah. My kid has been having behavioral problems at school. Now, you could line 10 women up, and each one of them, they have their own stuff, right? We all have our own stuff. So being adaptable, figuring out, like, how do I increase my threshold so that I can actually do all the things I want to do? So at the end of 2020, I feel awesome that I may not have gotten to where I wanted to go, but I made progress and I contributed. I helped somebody more than I thought I could. Those are all feelings that we all want to have. Contrary, at the end of 2020, coming into like, oh, I did it again. I had these big dreams and I didn't achieve anything, and I'm still at a job I don't like, or I'm still in a relationship I'm not respected, or whatever. We all have our stuff. Figure out, by being more aware of what your body's trying to tell you, figure out if it's holding you back. or if you need to rework your goals, your 90-day set, let's just say. Throwing in the towel, though, is likely not what your heart wants. It might be what you say people want, but it's likely if there's something that brings you joy and that you can make a difference, and because of our family situation, we need to say, not going to do that, that likely is hurting somewhere in your body, and it's important for you to know it. That doesn't mean you don't table it. Things come up, health issues come up, relationship challenges, money challenges, all those things come up. And if we continue to reflect and if we're aware, then we understand what it means when it comes up, and then we know how to rework it in our calendar. Or maybe it doesn't feel good anymore. Fine, scratch it. Find something else that feels awesome. So don't hide behind your kids or your spouse or the, in order for me to do this, I need to be gone for 4 hours, and that's going to sacrifice my family. Of course, that's going to sacrifice your family. How can you do both? How can you get the support you need and have it not be 4 hours? How can you know that he says you need to just go do what you need to do and have a plan, have an agreement, but still feel like you're taking care of your family the ultimate best you can? Because our family at home, there are so many things we can hire out that we frankly suck at, or that don't create joy at all. So whether it's a cleaning lady, whether it's somebody to come do your laundry, whether it's somebody to cook, it's somebody to pick the kids up from school, bring them to their activities, or from their activities and bring them home. There are so many people that do those services for you. So if that will create a little sliver of time to work on your joy project, to write that book, to exercise that day, to do something that'll make you feel awesome about yourself, it's completely worth it. They, our families, are not meant to hold us back. They're meant to inspire us to be better. And when we continue to inspire, when they inspire us to be better, and we continue to be better, we will be better for them also. Not only us, not only everyone else we're trying to contribute to, or to give to, or to love. So just reflect. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with, and what aha moments maybe happen. And even when it's uncomfortable, I ask you to lean in. When you have your 2019, like, ooh, that was felt like an epic fail moment for me as a mom, just try to see it without the emotion and see what led up to that and what you need to clear so it doesn't happen next time, because energy will just continue to reproduce if we don't change our conscious thought and change our brain on it. So that was a lot for 13 minutes. Thank you. Happy Tuesday. And shoot me any questions, whether it's Facebook message, text, email, or just on this string, and we can have a conversation.